out your feelings and get into the mix where DJ Young Kuda drops some fly-ass game on you.
Okay, we are back in the building for another episode of Player Talk Radio. I'm actually going to drop the shows in triplets. So today's show topic is the X and the Next. I had a good conversation with a friend of mine, and I wanted to actually speak on this topic today, which is the X and the Next. So on today's show, we're going to be talking about the X and the Next, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean by that. Now on today's show, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of topics, and we're going to get into a lot of deep game, which is backed up by psychology. And I want you to have an open mind on today's show because we're going to be talking about a lot of things. Now, I'm going to skip today's news segment, and we're going to get into something that I heard earlier today. There's a video out of it. I haven't heard the video, so I'm going to be listening to it while you guys are listening to it. But apparently, our girl Gabrielle Union, she be tossing salads, son. Like, she be eating niggas' asses and shit. Like, nigga. Okay. So, right here we have a clip of Gabrielle Union says, women shouldn't be ashamed to eat their... Women shouldn't be ashamed to eat their man's ass. I swear to God, I'm not making this shit up. This is from the goat's mouth. She's on Sway in the morning and she's talking about women. This shouldn't be ashamed to eat their man's ass. Nah, I don't. No, son. Okay, but okay. Let's hear what she got to say. Hold on, listen to this clip.
She talks a lot about sexual empowerment as well. Like, there was one instance in the book where you're speaking about being very real with this younger generation.
Yes. Okay.
Because they're so raw, they're so transparent, they have a whole Wikipedia of information in their brains. And at one point, I think it was a young girl that you may have mentored, and she was saying how she went down on a dude, and you were like, well, did he eat your pussy? And she looked at her friends like, no. And you were giving her a 101 on reciprocity.
Yes. I said, well, that's a very unequal relationship.
See, that's a white woman word, man. Reciprocity.
And, well, you know, a lot of people, a lot of women do enjoy, you know, providing fellatio. For sure, there needs to be some cunnilingus, same time, or not, or directly after or before. And I said, you know, and then ask him to eat your ass.
You did say that in the book.
I did. And that's how we got to teach these kids. You got to really get them young.
Wow.
And say, look, if you're going to be just offering blowjobs willy-nilly, there should be, you know, some pleasure that you experience in return. It's only fair.
Is there an age limit for this conversation? Like, what's the youngest you would go for this combo?
Well, if we're talking about sexual gratification, I'm not here to police anyone and give you the right age or wrong age.
Yeah.
I know people who lost their virginity in their 30s, and they were like, it sucked. I could have done this much earlier. And I know people who lost their virginity, you know, in their teens, and it was a beautiful experience. So I'm not here to offer any sort of insight as to when you should, you know, begin your sexual journey. But what I'm saying is, whenever that is, whenever you are having consensual sexual relationships, there should be equal pleasure. And we're not just the vessel for someone else's pleasure. I agree. This should be a symbiotic relationship.
Reciprocity.
But wait a second. So if she gives the guy a blowjob, he goes down on her, she eats his ass. I mean, he eats her ass. Then does that mean she has to eat the man's butt?
I mean, if we're talking about, you know, equal time here, reciprocity.
Wow.
Guys really aren't. At least the ones I know ain't really into this.
Wow.
That's what they say. That's what they're saying.
Wow.
So
That's not what's happening.
How old were you when you first ate a butt?
Was it with the teddy bear?
Here you go.
The teddy bear.
Here you go.
That teddy bear got it. From the rooter to the tutor, that teddy bear.
Lift up the furry tail.
I liberated him.
Don't move, bear.
Yes.
She said she liberated.
No matter
I
what
am
you
enjoying this
feel.
bear. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, it's all about equality. And a lot of times, especially women, feel like I'm going to lose him if I don't do X, Y, Z.
Right.
And there's never any thought to the woman enjoying having any expectation of enjoying sex. I'm just a vessel for somebody else's, in sexual gratification, and we have to take that back. We have to demand, equality everywhere.
Well, go ahead, Heather.
I'm just so lost because I want to know how a guy know he like his butt to be eaten out. Like how do you know that as a guy?
Nobody knows that. Women don't know
OQ,
either.
Now, women don't know either. but
OQ, chime in,
just
OQ.
try it.
OQ, chime in. Don't do that.
Stay away from my butt.
Yo, we all got the same butts. If a woman could like it, a man can.
A man and
This
women's
is not
ass
what
are
the
two
book-
completely
okay.
different
Listen,
things.
there's a lot of
Nah.
people who
Two
be like,
different
I don't go down on women. But yes, they do.
See that?
Two
I
different
believe you.
Because they'll
That's
say
what-
it publicly, and you're like, baby, yeah, nice try though. That was cute. I don't know what you're gaining by saying you don't go down on women, like except you're eliminating a good chunk of your
A
potential.
lot of West Indian men say that.
They
say
say it. It just doesn't. It's not
They
the
do.
truth. They do it. They just don't want to talk about doing it. No one, for whatever. Why is there shame? You guys liberate yourselves.
Just say it. Just admit it.
Just say it.
admit it.
Say it,
Yeah.
Sway.
How you want
you
me
know?
to say it? Like,
You go down. I go down. I'm down. You can just say I'm down.
No, say I go down.
They go down in the DL.
my name is Sway, and I go down.
Hey,
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yes.
All right, so that was that clip. Now, I'm more with the lady that asked the question, what does a guy have to go through to realize that he wants something like that? Now, you have to understand, you're in the NBA. And for real, in them locker rooms, just in sports in general, a lot of gay shit go on. Like in football, you do a good play and shit, niggas slap your ass. That's disgusting. And it's gay. But they don't think of it that way. It's a term of endearment. And then at the same time, too, when you're in the spotlight and you want to make, like, the big money and shit, they talk about these little parties that Hollywood and shit be having and shit. Like, these little parties and shit. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? In for real, that's like, and then that's another thing, like with like pimps and max and super players or guys that just get it like that. It's like, I guess to them, they get what's called sexually bored, and then they start getting into like shit like that. Like even these porn stars, like like a guy porn star, like a lot of people don't understand. The dude porn star be living some fucked up lives and shit because you're a modern day stud. And then what happens, it's a psychological thing. You're an object. And your job objectifies you, and then it makes you go to get money. So when you go to get money in return, you end up objectifying yourself. And you gotta live with that later on. But some of them, they feel that shit instantly. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them niggas be committing suicide and killing themselves and shit. Like, the shit fucked up. So for real, you gotta like pay attention to shit. And a lot of black men and shit, they aren't into that like gay shit and shit. And it's not because they're gay. Like, it's by design. Back in the day with slavery, since we were talking about, a little bit about slavery last time, white people would breed niggas like dogs. You niggas love breeding pit bulls and shit. Like, you get one dog and you like, yo, I'm gonna mix this with the brown-eyed joint a couple times, and then one of the puppies in the litter should come out with a brown eye and a blue eye. Or if I mix this red nose with this other joint, half the litter gonna be red nose and half the litter gonna be mutts. Shit like, it's genetics. And they breed niggas the same way. This is why it's like easy and shit for like niggas to walk away from their children. Cause back then in slavery, nigga, you were going to a different plantation and fucking. There were some privileged niggas out there, and sadly, it has a Jezebel spirit. Like, half the community of black people were gay, whether it be women or men. Like, for real, if you really look at the numbers, nigga, nowadays, for real, half are gay. and is by design. A lot of it, not all of it, is by design. Niggas fucking spreading their cheeks for bitches to toss their salad. And bitch, you stupid. Like, why would you even, like, that's a red flag to leave. Fuck pleasing this nigga. Both of y'all using strap-ons and shit. Y'all, like, there's a lot of fucked up shit that go on in this shit. This shit is funny. This shit is real funny. Nigga, what the fuck are you into? Like this is where she should have backed off. You know when Adam and Eve and shit happened, and when Eve ate the apple, Adam should have been like, nah, bitch, that's on you. You gotta go to, you know what I'm saying, to God and figure that shit out. Instead of being weak and proving to her through third party that nigga you weak. And eat the apple right along with it. Like God can make another one. Y'all already heard about the story of Lilith. Lilith was insubordinate. You know what? I'm gonna do a show. I'm gonna read the story. I'm gonna read the story of Lilith. I'm gonna read the story of Lilith and tie that back into what's going on today, because that's people's problem. You don't understand what's going on. I'm gonna read the story of Lilith, and we're actually gonna break down the story of Adam and Eve. I'm gonna read the story of Lilith, and I'm gonna read up Eve's backstory, and then we're actually gonna see what's going on with Adam too, because Adam ended up being a simp over time. But anyway, that was that clip. I ain't gonna say no more fucked up shit about that, because I know I'm gonna be perceived as being fucked up for the shit that I'm saying. But ladies, if a nigga is asking you to toss his salad, don't do it. Actually, no. Save that. See, this shit is so fucked up. Okay, shit like that is for the life. And what I mean for the life is that falls into like the prostitution world, the underground world, like the pimp world. See, most of y'all niggas are squares dating. And the thing is, y'all have discrepancies about shit because some of the life shit comes into your square lives. You understand what I'm saying? Like, dudes out here that's like, well, I don't want to get with a girl because I might be, you know, she might cheat on me, or she might be a hoe, or she has hoish tendencies and does stuff like that. See, a nigga in the life, he's looking at that as a different situation. He's gonna lace up his pimp boots and say, you know what, bitch, since you want to be a hoe, you gonna go out and go get me some money. He's not gonna be thrown off by that, or that's not gonna be a deal breaker for him. When niggas do shit like this, shit like this for real is not for a relationship. That's like some sidebar shit. Like, you pay a bitch to do some shit like that instead of a broad in a relationship with you doing something like that. That's something that you don't bring into a relationship. Because then, when you look at the concept of, okay, my wife is tossing my salad. Like, nigga, that don't even sound right. You understand what I'm saying? That's some shit. That's a fetish that you pay for. Now, if you meet a girl in the life and she does that right, and your money's right, and y'all come together and that's the agreement, then that's cool. But getting some random bitch like Gabrielle Union, she probably did get slutted out. I don't even know. Nowadays, you can't even... Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to say no more about that situation. I'm not even going to show you where the fine line is with this shit. For real, what we're going to do is... we're going to get into the mix, and then we're going to get into today's show topic, which is the X and the next. And what I mean by the X and the next, which was inspired by a conversation that I had with my good guy at work, my man Cortez. We're going to talk about what you should do being the next, but being introduced to the ex. Now, necessarily, you don't have to be introduced to the ex via, hey, I shook your hand, I know you. No. You get introduced, if you're interested in somebody and they're dealing with an ex and there's an ex in the situation or something, which there always, in most cases, gonna be, you need to be asking yourself certain questions about that situation or taking certain precautions about that situation. So that's what we're going to talk about now. And we're going to talk about the mindset that you need to have going into a relationship or talking to somebody that's still kind of dealing with an ex, or the ex is actually present in the interactions that you have with this person. And we're going to talk about the notes, and we're just going to talk about the ex in general. So what we're talking about on today's show, we're talking about further into the relationship. You are acquainted with somebody. It's evident that you guys like each other, but there's still certain people hanging around. And a lot of times, too, this ex, I want you to think of it in the mindset of this could be actually a baby daddy or a baby father. Because a baby father changes the dynamic. See, an ex is one thing, and then a situation with the ex is one thing, and then you have a baby father, which is a whole different dynamic. So, what I'm telling you is to have this second eye going in. And at the same time, we're going to break down why you should have all of these things. And a lot of it's going to sound ignorant, and I don't give a fuck because it's going to make sense. So listen, let's get into the mix, and we're going to actually get into today's show. So let's clap it up for that. Now, Gabrielle Union, before we get into the mix, Gabrielle Union eating Dwayne Wade's ass, that's disgusting. And you know, with sports, a lot of gay shit happens. That's disgusting. It is disgusting. Come on. I mean, I guess some dudes are into that type of shit, and as their lady, you wanna please them, so I get that. But, that's disgusting. Now, and also, too, it was reported that Dwayne Wade has side bitches, so Gabrielle Union is not, like, come on. You understand what I'm saying? When you have fetishes and shit like that, you're experimenting and you don't know how deep the rabbit hole that you fucking with is gonna go. And I tell people all the time, because there's a thin line between the life and actual square. When you're dating and you're in a relationship, for the most part, you're square. Because usually people in the life are single. Because it's a lot to entertain in that world. Now, they're gonna break up. I already seen this happen. They're gonna break up at some point. And he's gonna be called all kinds of gay and all this other stuff. And I tell people all the time, do not indulge in abnormal pleasures because they kill the taste for regular ones. You niggas out there being disgusting and wanting your goddamn taint licked. You're moist, man. You doing some weird shit. Like, that's ill. That's some weird shit. And it's in our community, unfortunately. And I think I broke that down on past shows. Black people gonna embrace that gay shit. Because we already have. And it's not about being gay. There's nothing wrong with being gay. But if you're pro-black and you gotta understand what's going on. The problem is we don't understand slavery, and we don't understand what really happened as to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We would kind of be a little bit cautious of it. And it doesn't really promote procreation. You understand what I'm saying? And don't give me no bullshit like, oh, we're just gonna adopt black babies if we practice black group economics if we're gay and all that. No, you're not. No, you're not. Even myself want an Asian baby. Just for, I don't know why. You know, I want a white kid. Like, I want like one of them German, like one of them really like white kids and shit. Like, I want a white son. And he's gonna be like the most flyest nigga on the planet. Like, he gonna be the most black motherfucker. Let me get into this mix, man.
You're now in the mix with the young DJ Cuda. Tonight we gonna be going in. All the ones and twos.
Let's get it.
Right.
On Player Talk Radio.
I'm going off on a rant and shit. Okay, so we talked about Gabrielle Union eating ass, man. Oh yeah, they talked about, it was an article about broads that drink too much and smoke too much. Like, they said, like, broads are drinking and smoking like niggas. Let me tell you something about that, though. In bulk. See, a lot of guys, we turn up, we chill to, like, relax. Just to calm down or take the edge off of life. You know what I'm saying? Because we're stressed. But a lot of times when women usually turn up and they're, like, just drinking and, oh, man, we're smoking and, oh, I can smoke you under the table and, oh, I can drink you under the table and blah, blah, blah. They're usually running from something. Like, they're not, it's not like, oh, we're trying to drink this to drink. I mean, every once in a while, like, if you have somebody that drinks wine all the time, well, no, the wine will expose you. But if somebody drinks wine all the time, you know, a lot of times they're running from something. Dead ass. Anywho, let's get into this mix. I say a lot of smart shit and I say a lot of ignorant shit. You can take anyone you want to and run with it. So we're going to get into today's mix. And then we're going to get into today's show topic. And we're going to go more deeper on the topic of the X and the next. But we're gonna take it from the perspective of the next, and we're gonna take it from a male perspective. But a lot of things that I'm saying too is interchangeable. Like, women can use it. So we're gonna take the perspective of you going into a situation, knowing someone has an ex, or it's been apparent, or it's happening. We're gonna talk about that sweet spot about dating. Now, and we're going to break down if you slept with that person or if you haven't slept with that person. So, we're going to break that down too. So, let's get into today's mix. Shout out to Chief Turbo. Today's mix is going to be a little lengthy because I'm going to really take up the end of the show with the topic. So, let's get it. Turn your radios up. Crank out. Do what you want to do. If you have any questions, email me at playertalk8@gmail.com. That's playertalk8@gmail.com. I've been ranting for like the last 20 minutes. Email me at playertalk8@gmail.com. If you'd like to donate to the show, you can take your ass over to PayPal and you can send it as a gift to CUDAKID, the number 8. Actually, no, that's not it. It's CUDAKID, the number 8 at yahoo.com. So you can do that. Alright, so let's get it. Let's get it.
You're now in the mix with the young DJ Cuda. Tonight we gonna be going in.
Let's get it.
On Player Talk Radio.
So Jimmy B. I don't know what I got on my feet, you know what I'm saying? Oh, wait.
Get out your feelings and get into the mix.
I just might cool my game. 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 Little boy, stay in your lane. Little boy, stay in your lane. Little boy, stay in your lane. I got some touch of that to your brain. Little boy, stay in your lane. I got some touch of that to your brain. And I might start some
You're now in the mix with the young DJ Cuda.
These bitches, they fuck up for fame. I don't want her number, I just want the blame. Ain't no smoking Mary Jane. I'm pumping these pills like they from my brain. Wait, bitches, they weak, yeah. Fucking they cheap, huh? Easy my feet, yeah. Switch it right up on the beat, yeah. Keep it choppy, yeah, on me, yeah. Fuck it, bitch, and put her to sleep. Yeah, Dexter. I just might cool my game. 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 Little boy, stay in your lane. Little boy, stay in your lane. Little boy, stay in your lane. I got so tough, put it to your brain. I just might.
Keep a chopper right on me.
I just might cool my game. 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 Little boy, stay in your lane. Little boy, stay in your lane. Little boy, stay in your lane. I got so tough for that to your brain.
Shout outs to Famous Dex, man. Shout out to Chopper School DJs. Let's get to today's show. Let's get it. Let's play Talk Radio. Email me at playertalk8@gmail.com. That's playertalk8@gmail.com. Chief Turbo, let's go.
You should wanna go and live your life. I am not trying to review your rights. You feeling like Chief Turbo did you wrong? You thought that you had turbo in your palm. Chief Turbo did you wrong. You thought that you had turbo in your palms. You got trust issues, girl, you are not alone. Bang, bang, bang.
Let's get it. On Player Talk Radio. You're now in the mix with the young DJ Kool.
Dog in the street, baby. We call this Player Talk Radio, baby. And you know I got the juice, baby. And you see me in the school, baby. You say you off at 2, baby. What you gon' let me do, baby? I'm smoking on this too, baby. There is no one like you, baby. My baby is the dope. You ain't smoking on the strongest shit right now. I bet you smoke a blunt, can't tell me what you feel right now. I bet you smoking Reggie, acting like it's cute right now. I just flamed up the lot, so I can't even hear right now. My shoulders come to sparking up the cup right here right now. We see you holding on the loud, we like kissing fire. You tryna smoke what I smoke, you take a hit and die. I love this shit so much, I might just take a hit and cry. I'll be done with this blunt in 4. take your bitch in 5. Truck on 26s, made me skip to 9. My motherfucking riches, made me skip the line. I swear that the dope, the only thing that get me high. I'm a dog and that's true, baby. Can we call this here a truce, baby? And you know I got the juice, baby. And you see me and it's cool, baby. You say you off at 2, baby. What you gon' let me do, baby? I'm smoking on this too, baby. There is no one like you, baby. My baby is the dog. I got pints on pints, blunts on blunts. I got swag on swag, stunts on stunts. Troopers pulled us over, we smell like blunts. I was full off dope, that's my lunch. You need to see this big ass blunt that I'm smoking on. This all for me, partner. You should see this big ass blunt that I'm choking on. I'ma need a doctor. I'm just flamed it up. Ain't no changing up. You see how high I am, then why you bring it up? You know what's in my cup. My cup filled with mud. To those who are influenced, just say no to drugs. I'm a dog in that.
Say no to drugs, please. Say no to drugs. Let's get back into the mix, though. Shout-outs to the Chop and Screw DJ. Now we're gonna get into today's show topic, but let the words in this song seep deep into your head.
Little bit too late to take care of me. You could still, even if I got a man now. At least you know where I stand now. Take care of you. Take care of you. Take care of you. I will. Even if I got a man now, I will do a fan now. It's a little bit too late to take care of you. I will. Even if I got a man now, I will do a fan now. It's a little bit too late to take care of me. You could still. And if I got a man now, you should know where I stand now. 'Cause I say
mix with the young DJ Kuda. Tonight we gon' be going in. All the rules and choices. Let's get it. On Player Talk Radio.
Tell me everything you know. Take care of you. I will. Even if I got a man now, I've been fucking fans now.
Still let me take care of you. Even if you got a man now, I've been fucking fans now, in the backseat of my van now, but still I take care of you. Even if you got a man now, fuck, I never shake his hand now. I swear I'll be there. I'ma be there. Shiver, cause I wasn't there. I swear, that just let me chill. It's chop day. Chopped up and not slopped good.
We on the end of the mix. Let's get into today's show, man. Let's go. Let's get into the mix real quick.
Hey, can you focus on me? Me. Can you focus on me? Me. Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Hands in the soap, how the faucet's running and I keep looking at you. Stuck on your phone, or you're stuck in your zone. You don't have a clue, but I don't wanna give up. Baby, I just want you to get up. Lately, I've been a little fed up. Wish you would just focus on me. Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Lazy or broke, no, we get this money, so I guess.
Alright, we back in the mix, man. We are back. We are in at 39 seconds, man. We are kicking it. Alright, we got a lot to talk about on today's show. My bad, I had y'all in the trance for a second, so hold on. Yeah, still mixing up in the background. Let's get it. Alright, so on today's show, we're gonna talk about the X and the next. And we're gonna talk about both sides too. We're gonna talk about being the X, and we're gonna talk about being the next. And this is coming from a man's perspective, okay? It's coming from a man's point of view. Okay? Now, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna talk about a lot on today's show. Give me 1 second. Because this is live. I'm actually doing the show live. So, what I'm gonna do is, give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Alright, give me 1 second, alright? Give me 1 second. 1 second. Alright? Give me 1 second. The game's about to be hot. Give me 1 second, alright? I'm coming right back. We're gonna get into it. It's Player Talk Radio, man.
You're now in the mix with the young DJ Cuda. Tonight we gonna be going in. All the boys and joints and shoes. Let's get it. On Player Talk Radio.
Alright, we are back. It's Player Talk Radio. Let me get these levels right. Hold on. Okay, so I was talking to a friend, and he told me he was dealing with, like, a young lady who has an ex lurking around. There's always gonna be like an ex. I mean, there's always gonna be niggas lurking around, but it's always gonna be an ex lurking around somewhere. And I was talking to him, and he thinks that she may not be fully over her ex, and she's giving him play. So he really wants to know, what does it mean? Now, this guy has not slept with this lady before, you know what I'm saying, but they have gone out. He spent money and time and energy, and it's just little things, but he didn't go too much into detail. But his situation is actually pretty common, and if you're actually listening, you might be going through that same situation. So what I want to do is I want to provoke some type of thought that you need to think when being in a situation like this, because there's a lot of things that you need to think about that doesn't get thought about, and this is why you guys end up in holes. So let's say you find yourself a lady giving you play, right? And she has a ex or somebody laying around, and you know what I'm saying, you can't help but intrude on other people's life in the dating game. So what happens is, you're dating people, you're gonna intrude on someone's life. It just happens naturally. You intrude on people's lives. And especially now with cell phones and technology, people are being contacted in many different ways by many different people. So sometimes, you're dating and, you guys are out on a date. Sometimes her phone rings, you really have to pay attention to what she does when that happens. Also, you kind of have to pay attention to how she reacts and responds to the people that are actually hitting her up on said date, and this, that, and the third. A lot of times too, when you first meet somebody, you'll be talking about their ex, or they will be talking about their ex. Something happens, and you end up having to talk about a past situation. It's just a part of the indicator of interest. When you're interested in somebody, sometimes you will learn about a past situation, and it'll be something as innocent as to asking, okay, well, why are you single? Or why are you here tonight? You understand what I'm saying? Because this question gets answered on many different levels. Sometimes you may walk up to somebody and you say, hey, you look beautiful. What brings you here? Oh, well, I'm having a rough time. Really? What happened? Boom. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to look at where the conversation is going to lead you. And usually when these questions arise, they're on an indicator of interest. Because only somebody that's interested in you would want to inquire about what's going on in your future relationship and what's going on in your past relationship. Now, people will say that they're not judging you, but yes, they are judging you. Now, me, personally, I'm not the judgmental type because I understand. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you are the judgmental type. And I don't blame you for being the judgmental type, because when you're actually laying down with somebody and considering a relationship with somebody, of course you need to judge. In dating, you don't need to judge. But somebody that you are gonna be, when you talk about a relationship, you're talking about being connected to somebody. Essentially, you're talking about being connected to somebody at some point, whether it's spiritually, financially, emotionally, sexually. You're talking about a connection. You're talking about something that's more than a hey man, bye. You understand what I'm saying? So when you talk about a relationship, you're talking about something that's completely different. So you need to judge who you're going to be with long term. Because who you're going to be with long term actually says a lot about you. And a lot of times I understand situations and things happen in life. But what it is that it says more about you more than your situation after a certain amount of time. See, you can cheat a lot of things, but you can't cheat Father Time. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know why people think that they can. See, the name changes, but the game is always going to remain the same. So on today's show, I want to talk to you about the ex and the next, and how the next can learn from the ex. Because either way it goes, you have to learn from this person. Because the way you may share a lot of similarities, in a way, with this person that you don't know of. Now keep in mind, it's someone's business to be someone's business. I'm not telling you to snoop around in someone's business or be obsessed with someone's business. But what I'm saying to you is that on your own time, you have to pay attention to the situation. Because if they're going to be your business, then they've just become your business. Does that make sense? Because it is going to be your business. If you're inquiring about a future endeavor with this person, because their business vicariously becomes your business. You're not going to play a third person all the time. See, you're playing a third person right now because you're in a dating stage. But becoming involved with somebody, that's a whole different dynamic. So, oh, that's funny. Kyle. Shout outs to my man, Kyle. And shout outs to what I just said. Now, no, you gotta listen, though. Now, keep in mind, because I told you guys to assess the situations that you're gonna be in, you need to judge the woman by the situation that you're going to be in. So once you assess the situation, you need to judge the woman by the situation that you are going to be in. And that's another thing to look at. Because sometimes you'll get with the beautiful girl and the situation that she's going to put you in kind of exceeds her beauty. Like it's not what you bargained for. And you need to be thinking like this so you don't deal with her. You understand what I'm saying? You have to understand what situation you're getting yourself into. And a lot of times people can't suppress their sexual needs, that they will get themselves into a lot of fucked up situations and then don't understand what's going on. Especially guys. You understand what I'm saying? It's like a contract. So you need to pay attention to her ex. If you're in a situation where somebody's dealing with their ex, you need to pay attention to her ex in a way. And that's not to clown them, but you have to understand, you know, that this person had a contract with this person. Because sometimes in the end, when you reach the end of the road with this person, you will find out that in a lot of cases that the ex was actually the smarter person. You understand? And women too. Women, ladies, y'all gotta look at the guys that you're dealing with. You know, Tommy said something about who hunts harder, the whale or the barnacle. The whale gotta go out and go hunt his food. The barnacle just finds a whale to stick onto. Which whale is going out and hunting the food the most, and which barnacle is actually, that's attached to this whale, is actually benefiting from the food that he's hunting. And that's the same dynamic how men and women date. It's different. Men go out and go hunt for their food. Women attach to the barnacle onto the whale. How they're hunting. This is how we date. And I'll break this down on later shows. Like, humans date similar to birds. Birds are our closest relative when it comes to dating. So you need to pay attention to her ex, not in a way to clown her, but you have to understand that the person had a contract with this person. Because sometimes at the end, when you reach the end of that road, you'll find out that they were the smart one. So you have to pay attention to their dynamic. See, there'll be a time that she's, like when you're getting with her, there'll be a time that she's cutting him off for you, and he's calling her phone trying to, you know, text her and get in contact with her, and you'll see, you know, how she's carrying him. Because if you want to pursue a future with this woman, at best, what she's doing to him at some point, she's going to start doing to you. Because you have a contract with it. See, things go in patterns. And that's the same with relationship and life. I can break this shit down to a science. So when you date, you know, there's a saying, it's saying that, like, when you date, a woman that's rude to the waiter will never be nice to you. And that's some real shit, because see, the waiter is in the form of a server. And is serving a position. It's in a serving position. And being reasonable, and you know what I'm saying, and if the waiter is like being reasonable, because I know there's some fucked up, you know, waiters out here, and she still has an attitude or whatever, and the same thing, she's not gonna be nice to you. But see, because as a man, you take on the role with us, you know, as a man, you take on the role as a servant from time to time. And that's because men have the need to feel needed. We want to be necessary. We want to feel needed. See, you have to break down how relationships go. Men have the need to feel needed. We need to feel necessary, that we're needed by someone. Whereas women, they need to feel that they're appreciated. Appreciation is the best way and the best form that you can show love to a woman. So, there's just a lot to explain. And don't think I'm wrong for saying this, because, you know, women do it too. You know, women, they look at your situation too. You know what I'm saying? See, because women on a lot of cases, like when you look at their dating pool, and I'm telling you how they act in their dating pool, if you soak up the game that I'm telling you, they deal with a lot of men, and they see a lot of men's situations beforehand. You understand? That's why it doesn't matter if you're a good-looking guy. If you're a good-looking guy, that's all the more to let her down. Women don't get held on those stipulations. Like, if a woman date an ugly nigga, then she don't get held accountable for that shit. They can date ugly and cute niggas. To them. But you get judged. See, there's a double standard that gets talked about, and there's a double standard that doesn't get talked about. See, but a lot of women deal with a lot of men, and they see a lot of men's situation beforehand. So you can be a good looking dude, but if your situation is not set up the way that she wants, or it doesn't really accommodate what she got going on, they don't get with you. And you see this happening multiple times. I see it a lot. Because see how women, like I told you about the whale and the barnacle, women latch on. They choose. You understand what I'm saying? Their choosing is different from your choosing. Because women will see how they will be prioritized in a situation with you. See, you have to understand that if you were this cool guy and she's like interested in you and then seeing you, she has to ask questions of interest and see the kind of life that you have set up. How you operate. Where does she fit in this type of life that you have? So they ask IOIs, which is short for indicator of interest. What kind of life you have set up? How are your finances set up? How do you live? Where do you live? Who lives with you? What's going on? Are you by yourself? What are the terms and conditions that she can see you under? One day, if she was to be your girl, how would she be prioritized in the situation that you have going on? They do this. This is why a lot of good women feel that they can adapt to niggas that have multiple baby mamas. With the addition of her being sweet talked and fucking and doing all this other shit. See what I'm saying? They look at it. If one day if I was your girl, how would I be prioritized in your situation? And a lot of times when they see you have a complicated situation, it's competitive to them. And then you have to look at them asking all those questions versus how they actually like you and how you make them feel and the things both of you guys do together. It's a dance. And dating is a dance. So when you come into the situation with a woman, you get to see, how she treats her ex. And, like what other things she said to you. You need to actually be judging her by your rules and standards. That's if you have any. Because she shows you in a lot of cases how she is. Really, her nature. And a lot of times when you're chilling with her, you probably see her jump out of character, but she's not jumping out of character. She's jumping into character. You understand what I'm saying? Who she is is showing to you. And she's actually been there. So you need to pay attention, not to the sexual aspect, but the actual connection. And the relationship that they actually have, because it's a pattern. Like I said, man, this whole shit is a dance. So we just talked a little bit about it. But, even in a relationship, how further you want to go with this person, you still get a reference. And that X will be your measuring stick. You have to judge someone by the last person they were dealing with. Now, granted, you have to be fair. And a lot of good people get themselves in a lot of messed up situations. But for the most part, you have to judge someone on this because it's a signal of their self-worth. What they'll be putting up with. Who they'll be putting up with. What kind of things have they been through? So what could be their mindset right now? That says a lot about them. And that's, a matter, and it's funny because, it does not matter how cool they are to you. And what's going on, this still is a fact that remains. And you need to assess the situation before dealing with somebody that has an ex that you know that they're still hung up on. I'm going to leave you with this, though. One of the worst things you can ever wait for, ladies and fellas, one of the worst things you can ever wait for is for someone to make up their goddamn mind. And that's something that you don't need to go through. But that's just a little bit of game. And this is just a piece of the pie. So, if you fucks with the show, share it. And then hit me up, give me some questions. And I'll actually start doing them. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be dropping game on the next couple of shows. That's all we're gonna get into today. So, the next show, I was told to do this, and that's some game. Actually, I gave my man the good game, so we were talking about this whole situation, but I just wanted to bring it up with you guys. So, next show, we're gonna talk a little bit about relationships. Fellas and ladies, you don't know somebody until you slept with them. Real talk. Real talk. Because the spotlight that they have on you now is going to be completely different. So, we're going to get into the mix, man. We are out. It's Player Talk Radio, man. Let's get back into the mix. And, man, that was today's show. So, definitely clap it up. Email me at playertalk8@gmail.com. If y'all like this topic, we can go in a little bit deeper now. We can go in a little bit deeper. We can go in a little bit deeper about the ex. And that's on both sides. Ladies, y'all got to look at the person that your man was last dealing with. And how he speaks about that person and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not saying judge somebody. Don't judge somebody. But vicariously, you literally are going to judge somebody. Whether it be today or tomorrow. So, I don't judge people because I know what to look out for, but I know other people do. So, let's get into today's mix. Let's get it, man. Rest in peace to my man Smash, man. Shout outs to Baltimore, man. Shout outs to Young Crip, my man Young C. So, shout outs to him too, man. Hold it down. I know he out there doing this thing, so, man. Shout outs to my man. Rest in peace, my boy Smash, man. Let's get it. So, we're going to get into the mix, man. Let's get it. It's Player Talk Radio. Alright. Happy Halloween.
Damn thing, killing me softly, but I won't show it. I ain't rich, but my swagger is so sick, and the bitches love me out here in the streets, baby. And I do it all the way to make you my lady, but you crazy, and I can't take it. Sometimes I think you're still in the matrix. I try to break my back just to make you happy, but I know when you're home, still love you, baby daddy, and I knew from the start, but I ain't care. You broke my heart. You ain't fair, but that's cool. Still know we're cranking. Only like a chopper. I don't save him, baby. I just want some cheap vodka. Whip up on a hooker, booker quicker than a knocker. Baby, I'm a me. I can't lie. The first time that I saw you, I was hypnotized.